Welcome back, Moon Children. Good morning, actually. I'm here to do a quick twin flame check-in. So I'm just going to be checking up on the energies of the divine masculine, the divine feminine. This is mid-March. If need be, you can make this a daily message, and then I can put out maybe another mid-March reading. But I just felt very inclined to check in with my twin flames. Today I believe it's the 13th. So let's see how this goes, my twin flames. So let's check up on that twin, that's the divine masculine. So you've got the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and Justice. Okay, so just alone, and the Four of Cups. So just alone in this energy here, you can see that the divine masculine is, they're kind of bearing their hearts a little bit and wearing their heart on their sleeve when it comes to their union, but they're also having a lack of communication. So whether, you and your twin flame aren't in communication, you're not getting that communication back from them, they're not texting you back, they're not calling you back, or even if you are in union with your twin flame, your divine masculine is having issues with communicating with you. So they are not, they're not communicating the way they should. They're not expressing what they should be. They're doing a lot of talking, but, they're not expressing what they should be. There is some stuff that is coming up from the past for the divine masculine. I feel that they're finally starting to realize, okay, I also have a part in this healing journey, in this journey of getting to know myself better. And so they're coming into their share of that, that grief, that pain, that healing that can be so hurtful. Because especially lately, the divine feminine has been doing a lot of the work for their own life and for their soul. But now I really feel that the divine masculine is coming into that energy for themselves. So with this the Three of Wands here, they're gonna have to do some contemplating. They're gonna have to do some thinking about where they want this union to even go. Really just looking at the energy, because they're kind of being combative about it. They're kind of fighting, wanting to deal with certain issues from the past. They're kind of just like, let's not talk about it, and it's best. So Ace of Wands in reverse. So they don't want to talk about it, and who does? Nobody wants to dig up the old past, but they're gonna have to realize that in order to make this, healthy journey, they're gonna have to put in work. And with that Justice card being here, they're not very open to okay, so look at this, the Six of Cups and the King of Cups. So they do have a lot of emotions coming up. There's a lot of turmoil, but they're gonna have to do this healing, this where am I now in my journey, kind of assessment with a lot of justice. So be fair to yourself and be fair to the people that are in your life currently. So, if you have emotional issues that kind of deal with a certain type of hurt or abuse, emotional abuse, don't let it be a reflection of your behavior, and don't let it reflect onto others, because that is not what you're trying to do in the end of this whole journey. You're trying to heal, you're trying to move forward, you're trying to, combat all these addictions, and heal old past wounds from family even. So it can be very deep-rooted hurt. So you kind of have to be careful about how you go about this situation here. So the Moon in reverse, the Six of Wands in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. You have a lot of uncertainty. You have a lot of uncertainty, not so much as for the union, but you have a lot of uncertainty within yourself, just about where you are in your life path right now. Maybe you're not in the career path that you had wanted, or, you're not feeling like you're to that point where you can say you're successful and you're good and you're steady. And so the divine masculine is kind of struggling a little bit in their emotional realm right now. I don't think that it's anything major. I think that, it's going to be a very steady, slow change. There's nothing crazy. There's nothing too wild going on. It's just going to be of chugging along. It's that period of change, but a very slow and steady transformation. So, this isn't a race. So, take the time that divine masculines, take the time that you need. You're gonna do the change, you're gonna make the changes. It's just about learning when to deal with them once they do come up, and learning how to cope with the healing, really, and just coping strategies that are gonna help you and gonna be beneficial to you. So let's see what the romance angels have for my divine masculine. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you romantically attractive. So maybe that's what you have to do now. Maybe, this is old issues of family coming up, where family hasn't taken you seriously, or they don't appreciate certain things about you. Let me just explain, because this ties into it. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So, if you are digging up stuff that you were raised with, if you are now realizing, hey, you know what, this isn't the religion that I wanted for me, it was just instilled to me, then go ahead and make your own decision. But, your romantic life is very influenced by your upbringing and the way that you were taught love. And so the divine masculine kind of is realizing, I didn't have love in my life in these parts, in this sort of aspect when I was young, so it's hard for me to bring that out of myself when no one gave it to me, kind of thing. So they're still not familiar with certain types of loves and showing love in certain types of ways. And it really is connected to old childhood traumas and childhood abuse and neglect, kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be anything devastating, like, my mom smoked meth and left me alone. It can just be like, what, my mom and my dad were still together, they were always married, they still are, they raised us well, but they were busy working, and they never really had time to talk about feelings. And so now I have issues with talking about feelings. And so just be cognizant of that, the divine feminine, that your divine masculine is going through a lot of hurtful things from the past, and it just is not your area to fix. And please, I want to say almost stay out of it, because this is a transformation they need to do on their own. In particular with these older aspects, but you do want to talk about it. You want to talk about it, you just don't want to try fixing it for them, or trying to, shield them from their truths. Because, this is very deep-rooted. The Six of Cups is about childhood, so it can be very deep-rooted in the childhood and in certain traumas that they had, if they experienced certain discomfort with their religious upbringings, if they experienced certain discomforts with, the way that they were shown love, or their siblings, or, they went through bullying. You want to give them that space to make amends with themselves and really fix those issues for themselves, but you don't want to kind of come between that healing for them. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a spirit animal card just to kind of see what you have to do as the divine masculine, what you kind of have to embody. So let's see here. So let's see. That peacock spirit. Let it shine. So, you have to make certain boundaries for yourself in order for you to shine the way that you want to. But make sure that you are still kind of acknowledging yourself and your own growth and your own change and ability to change. Be aware that the things that you encountered in your childhood don't define you in your adult life. They can shape you a little bit, they can guide you, but ultimately it is your choice as to what shapes you to your very core, what resonates with you, what you still embody, the practices that you put into motion, the aspects of yourself and the people before you that you reflect onto others. So just be cognizant of that, my divine masculine. I do feel that you're going to have kind of a steadier month. You still are having stuff from the past being dug up, but it's not to the point where it's debilitating, even saddening. You just have to learn to cope with those things as they come up for you. So Alrighty, so now let's check on our divine feminine. I was gonna say masculine again. So let's check up on our divine feminine and see kind of where they're at, what they're feeling. Let's go ahead and get their energy read. Divine feminine, how have you been feeling? I hope that all this healing and transformation has not been too much for you all. It can be a lot, especially with this retrograde going on, so I understand. Okay, so our divine feminine. You've got the Knight of Wands, the Page of Wands in reverse, the Devil in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, the Magician in reverse, the Ten of Swords in reverse, and the Four of Pentacles. So, wow, you've got a lot of in reverses, but let me explain why they're not that bad. So, the Hermit being in reverse and the Devil being in reverse means that you're kind of coming out of an energy where you feel isolated, where you felt you couldn't get a handle of the past, you couldn't get a handle of your addictions, your emotions, your worrisome troubles. You couldn't really get a grasp on all that. You were in a period where you kind of felt like you were owned by them. So you see how these people are chained up here on this Devil's chain. That's how you kind of felt. That was the energy that you had. You kind of felt like you were tied to your responsibilities. You couldn't do stuff for yourself because everybody else was depending on you. Your divine masculine was depending on you to heal certain things and to move forward with the union. And so now you're kind of putting yourself first a little bit. With that Knight of Wands, it kind of means that you're reigniting passions that you had. You're reconnecting with certain things of the universe and yourself that you really pride yourself on. So, if you're a very caring person, but because of the fact that you weren't shown care and love when you were small, kind of comes out and makes you kind of a mean lover, then you're reconnecting with that childlike energy where you can be yourself, you can be patient, you can be kind. And it's beautiful because you're moving away from that toxic energy of just feeling like you're not enough, feeling like you can't, feeling like you don't have the power or strength to keep going in a certain situation. You are holding on to the good things about you and releasing. You see, this Ten of Swords in reverse means that you're releasing those troublesome energies. You're releasing those troublesome people. You're paying off that karmic debt. And just the Magician in reverse, I do want to clarify that because that is a card where you don't really want to have it in reverse. Maybe depending on the situation. Let me just see here what it has for us. So, Divine Feminine. Let's go ahead and get your read. So you've got the Tower energy in the reverse. Okay, so I asked why that Magician was in reverse, and it showed me the Tower in reverse. So it means that, you're moving away from a period of instability, and you're coming back to stability. So it's very funny that the Divine Masculine was very centered and grounded, and now they're kind of feeling shaky. And it's when you start to, leave that shakiness and you come into your own power. So it's funny because that yin and yang balance is always up and down with us. And, when they need us, you're there. And when, they need you, you're there. And so, I said that back. Anyways, you're there for each other, equally and mutually. And so you want to be cognizant of that. Your divine masculine might need you right now. And so that's why it's coming up. You have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and it was actually in reverse. Let's see. The Knight of Pentacles and okay, so the Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, and you have, you have two, yeah, and you have 3 major arcanas, 4 major arcanas. Okay, 4 major arcanas and 3 knights of the suits. It just means that you are very, you're going to act with conviction. You're going to act with conviction about the decisions that you're going to make. And you know what? It's really a good period to kind of balance yourself out a little bit. And you've got the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, which kind of means that you're gonna go and do what you want and just almost not even tell anyone. You know, you're gonna pursue certain things in your life that you're really wanting, certain career goals that you're wanting, and the Divine Masculine is gonna need you a little bit. So be cognizant of keeping all the responsibilities there while also being there for your Divine Masculine, because you kind of have done a little bit of work in your emotional sphere, so you are ready to kind of proceed with everything else in life and not just be caught up in your own feelings and your own head almost. So the Romance Angel card that you got is let your friends help you. So accept and ask for support from others. And this is beautiful because, you know, when you kind of felt like you were alone and isolated and you couldn't really ask for help or depend on anyone, it can just make you feel so alone in this world. And so reach out to the people that are around you. Reach out to your support system. Reach out to whoever it is that you need to get in contact with for you to feel like you have that support, that balance. People are there for you. You just have to give them a chance to be there for you. So let's see. Past life relationship, you have known each other before. So there you go. This is very beautiful. You guys have agreed to come into union and kind of do this journey together. And now is the time where there's an energy shift for my Divine Feminine. There's a huge energy shift coming in for you. You're moving away from instability. You're coming to stability. You're doing so with conviction. You have here 3 Knights. So you know what you want and you're going to go out and get it, regardless of who's trying to stop you. And so it's really good. It's really great that you're moving away from that energy where I felt like you were just stuck. My Divine Feminines were just stuck and hurting. And so maybe, you know, you've got new opportunities. Maybe a trip is coming up. Alright, so Bobcat. So you, my Divine Feminine, life is a mystery. So, you know, remember that, I mean, literally, with this shift coming in, life really is a mystery for you because you're wondering, how can I be so okay for, like, the rest of March when February and March were a disaster for me. The beginning of March were a disaster for me. You know, emotionally and stability-wise, and just maybe even in your union. So you're really wondering, how can that be? And it is literally because life is a mystery. You know, you never know the twists and turns that it's going to take, but you know you are coming into stability, so you're going to be prepared, you're going to be equipped for the changes that are coming in. You are going to be ready to be there for your Divine Masculine, who's going through some I was going to say a bad word. Who's going through their own shift. There you go, I added a T. And so, you know, it's just that energy where you're gonna be grounded again. And you're gonna be centered again. And you're gonna know how to deal with stuff that comes up. And you're also gonna be able to help your Divine Masculine come into their own healing and their own, you know, troubles and concerns. Anyways, so that is what I have for my twin flames for this quick little check-in. I just decided I will be putting in a mid-March reading for my twin flames. This was just kind of a check-in energy for today's energy, for maybe the rest of this week energy. And so we'll see what's really going on for the rest of March for my twin flames coming up in a few days. So I'll have that out by the 15th for my twin flames. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time on my channel, go ahead and join the Moon Kid family. Also, make sure to check out my other videos. I have pick a card readings. I have, you know, personalized month readings by element. Go ahead and check all that fun stuff out. Thank you so much for watching again. Namaste.